The BCCI's N Srinivasan has said that match-fixing charges over Indo-Pak World Cup semi-finals is an insult to the Indian team. That is the latest reaction coming in from the BCCI, which has finally broken its silence, saying that the fixing allegations are an insult to the Indian team. BCCI's N Srinivasan has reacted to a British journalist's book, which goes on to cite the Mohali match and cited and insinuated that there were perhaps match-fixing charges which were levelled against Pakistan and the Indian team. But however, he also goes on to say that it was the Pakistani team that really acted according to the script. The latest, of course, coming in saying that the BCCI has said that, well, the allegations are an insult to the Indian team. So far, the BCCI had not reacted. The ICC also keeping its cards close to its chest, whereas the PCB has called for a probe in this entire case. Well, let me go across to Shabir, who joins us for more in the story. Shabir, what exactly did N Srinivasan have to say about this entire controversy now?
Well, Srinivasan earlier refused to comment on this issue, but after the reporters asked him about the specific allegations that have been made against on this British newspaper, he says that I don't normally comment on these things, but nothing could be farther from the truth. It's an insult to the Indian team, that has worked hard. So that's something which is coming out from the BCCI chief, who is making it clear that all these allegations are nothing but an insult to the Indian team who have worked hard in the series.
Let me go across to Rasesh, who joins us for more on the story. Rasesh, the BCCI is saying, N Srinivasan saying that these allegations are an insult to the Indian team. BCCI took its own time to respond to these allegations. Will there be a probe, or is that ruled out at this point?
Well, BCCI for a change has at least reacted, but unexpected times. The board president thinks of the whole story of the entire allegations, and also to take care into account that it's always going to be difficult to prove these charges, and it's quite alarming.
Right. Rasesh, just hold your thoughts there. Also joining us on the phone line is former cricketer Kirti Azad. Mr. Azad, what do you make of the BCCI's reaction and these British journalists' allegations?
Well, I don't know. Nowadays, the things have been said and been floating around. You've seen what has happened in the IPL. Anything is quite strange. I feel very insulted.
Do you think, Mr. Azad, that the BCCI should probe these allegations, because the BCCI, for its part, has called it an insult to Indian players?
Well, the problem with the BCCI is insulting cricket in our country. They are the judge, jury and prosecutor. They should give these cases straight away to the police to do it. We have an instance where, if you remember, we had seen in England somebody on camera had shown that he was spot fixing. So neither the board or any associations came in between. The British police took care of those people. FIR was filed, charge sheets were filed, they put into court, penalties were given. So that is what should be done, rather than them doing in-house investigations, because that is all ridiculous. I mean, how they are not really the implementing agencies to find faults in people.
But it seems at this point, Mr. Azad, that this journalist has not really come up with any evidence to back up his claims. He is referring to some particular tweet. Do you think that there will be this merits an international investigation into these charges?
Well, first of all, I don't know whether what he's saying is true or not true. But then, spicier the food, the better it is. You eat, and the next morning, you know what happens to you. So I hope this doesn't happen to this. But, just now I'll give an example. One of our cricketers has been exonerated, and he was banned for 12 years. It's very strange that neither the board is going to the Supreme Court to challenge that decision, nor the accused who's been exonerated is going to the Supreme Court for the loss of prestige and playing years. So it's all fixed. I think it's not only the match. I'm not sure whether that was fixed or not fixed, but BCCI has been fixing a lot of things.
All right, Mr. Azad, let me quickly, if you can just stay on with us, let me quickly also go across to my to Headlines Today's correspondent Rasesh, who joins us. Rasesh, you just heard Mr. Azad there. He says that the BCCI perhaps is being too defensive at this point in time, and an inquiry could be warranted given the backdrop of these allegations.
I think it's not so much the BCCI or as much as the BCCI is accountable. One would have to think the international governing cricket governing body ICC, whether the claims that the ICC is making about zero tolerance policy are baseless or not. If not, then perhaps the question mark is whether ICC can do more. But every time there are such allegations, there are such claims, when books are written, points are made, figures are raised. So they ask for evidence. There's been a recent example of the whole CBI inquiry that went into the massive allegations 10 years ago, the whole saga around Nazruddin. Eventually it has to stand in the court of law, or for that matter, allegations are made. So unless evidences are provided, the investigating agencies, the governing bodies will always come out and say that without evidence there's little they can do. And that is the way things stand.
All right. Let me, in fact, go and take a final question with Mr. Azad. Mr. Azad, do you think that the BCCI has been too quick to react on this issue?
No, exactly what Rashesh is saying. That's what I'm saying. If you have people who are traitors committing treason with the country, it should go to the investigating agencies, those who have powers to put sections against these people of Section 420 and criminal conspiracy of 120B, forgery, and all other things. So you just can't be. I mean, if you remember these 5 boys who were the judge, jury and prosecutor, the BCCI in this case, had penalized those people. But what about the instance when they said that they are ready to pay us under the table to play for them? These players, if you remember that spot fixing thing, until unless the investigating agencies like the police or any other don't go in, how would you know what is true, what is untrue? I mean, the kind of violation they did when they went to South Africa, the RBI violation, the enforcement directed violation, the FDI violation. There's so many things that they have done themselves. So obviously they don't want to go to the police on such issues because they know they have a big hand, larger, the hand of the pie, and they don't want to go into such matters.
All right, Mr. Azad, thank you for joining us with your comments. Also joining us on the phone line is former cricketer Madan Lal. Mr. Lal, what are your reactions to the fact that the BCCI has called these allegations an insult to Indian cricket? Do you think perhaps that the BCCI has reacted too quickly? Do you think that it merits probe?
No, I do agree with BCCI because it's an insult to Indian cricket because they have won the World Cup and every right, I think, the BCCI has to criticize all these things, because this match fixing thing is not going to go from cricket,
Right. But do you think that there should be an international probe into these allegations? Do you think that the British journalist has not really backed up his allegations or charges with evidence?
No, I don't think the ICC has to look into the matter and they should probe it, if they want to. But I'm not sure about, writing a book and saying that so-and-so match is fixed. Even we people hear a lot of things, this match is fixed or that match is fixed. I don't think it's that easy, But I don't think there should be any probe or anything.